Now.
Game of Thrones is one of the most beloved and critically acclaimed television shows of all time, known for its complex characters, intricate plotting, and epic battles. But what truly sets it apart is its ability to create unforgettable moments that stick with viewers long after the credits roll. In this video, we'll be counting down the top 10 best scenes in Game of Thrones, from shocking twists to epic battles to emotional character moments. Number 1. The Battle of the Bastards. The Battle of the Bastards is widely regarded as one of the most epic and thrilling scenes in Game of Thrones. The episode depicts the long-awaited confrontation between Jon Snow and Ramsay Bolton, as Jon leads an army of wildlings and loyalists against Ramsay's forces to retake Winterfell. The battle itself is incredibly intense and harrowing, with some stunning visuals and impressive choreography. It's a true spectacle of both practical and digital effects, with thousands of extras and intricate camera work that immerses the viewer in the chaos of battle. One particularly memorable moment is when Jon becomes surrounded by Bolton soldiers and is nearly trampled to death by his own men. The camera stays tight on Jon as he gasps for air and struggles to stay alive, creating a visceral sense of claustrophobia and desperation. The battle eventually culminates in a one-on-one fight between Jon and Ramsay, which is equally thrilling and satisfying. Overall, the Battle of the Bastards is a standout scene that showcases the best of what Game of Thrones can do when it comes to action, storytelling, and cinematography. Number 2. The Red Wedding. The Red Wedding is one of the most infamous and shocking episodes of Game of Thrones, and the scene itself is widely considered to be one of the most devastating and unforgettable in the series. The Red Wedding takes place during the 9th episode of Season 3, The Reigns of Castamere, and features the brutal massacre of several members of House Stark, including Robb Stark, his pregnant wife, and his mother Catelyn Stark, as well as many of their loyal bannermen. The scene begins with what appears to be a joyous celebration of the marriage between Robb Stark's uncle, Edmure Tully, and a member of House Frye. However, as the episode progresses, it becomes increasingly clear that something sinister is afoot. The tension builds as viewers start to realize that the Fryes have betrayed the Starks, and that a massacre is about to occur. The actual scene is incredibly intense and brutal, with characters we've grown to love over the course of the series being brutally murdered in cold blood. The scene is shot with a kind of detached, almost documentary-style realism that makes it all the more horrifying. And of course, the final shot of Catelyn Stark's anguished scream as she watches her son being murdered is one of the most haunting moments in the entire series. The Red Wedding is often cited as a turning point in the series, marking a shift towards a darker and more ruthless tone, and it remains one of the most shocking and impactful scenes in Game of Thrones history. Number 3. The Battle of Blackwater Bay.
Get down!
The Battle of Blackwater Bay is one of the most epic and visually stunning scenes in Game of Thrones. It takes place during the 9th episode of Season 2 and depicts a massive naval battle between the forces of King's Landing, led by Tyrion Lannister, and the invading fleet of Stannis Baratheon. The battle is notable for its impressive special effects and practical stunts, with a mix of CGI and real-life pyrotechnics creating a spectacular sense of chaos and destruction. The battle is also notable for its many character moments, with Tyrion and Joffrey both getting significant screen time as they struggle to rally their troops and lead them to victory. We also see Sansa Stark and Cersei Lannister confronting the reality of war in different ways, with Sansa praying for the safety of her loved ones and Cersei drinking to numb the fear and pain. Overall, the Battle of Blackwater Bay is a thrilling and cinematic spectacle that showcases the best of what Game of Thrones can do when it comes to action, drama, and visual storytelling. Number 4. The fourth scene on the list is one of the most iconic and memorable moments in Game of Thrones history: Daenerys Targaryen emerging from the fire with her 3 dragon hatchlings. This scene takes place in the final moments of the first season, in the episode titled Fire and Blood. In the scene, Daenerys is trapped in the funeral pyre of her late husband Khal Drogo, who has just died. She places her dragon eggs on the pyre, along with the body of the witch who had betrayed her. As the fire rages around her, Daenerys emerges unscathed, holding 3 newly hatched baby dragons in her arms. This scene is notable for several reasons. First, it marks a major turning point for Daenerys' character arc, as she transforms from a helpless and abused pawn into a powerful and determined leader. Second, it's a stunning visual spectacle, with the fiery pyre and the emergence of the dragons creating a sense of awe and wonder. Finally, it sets the stage for the larger role that dragons will play in the series going forward, as Daenerys becomes increasingly powerful and her dragons grow larger and more formidable. Overall, this scene is a fan favorite and a defining moment in Game of Thrones history, showcasing the show's ability to create memorable and impactful moments that stick with viewers long after the credits roll. Number 5. The fifth scene on the list is the loot train attack, which takes place in the 4th episode of Season 7, titled The Spoils of War. This battle scene is widely considered to be one of the most impressive and thrilling action sequences in the entire series. The scene begins with Daenerys Targaryen and her army of Dothraki warriors launching a surprise attack on a Lannister caravan carrying gold and supplies. The Lannister forces are caught off guard and quickly overwhelmed by the sheer numbers and ferocity of Daenerys' army, which includes her dragons for the first time in the series. The resulting battle is an epic spectacle of fire and blood, with dragon fire and Dothraki decimating the Lannister forces. The scene is notable for its stunning visuals, which include some of the most impressive CGI effects in the entire series. The dragon fire in particular is incredibly realistic and visceral, creating a sense of heat and danger that makes the battle all the more intense. The battle also has significant consequences for the overall plot of the series, as it marks a major turning point in the war between Daenerys and Cersei Lannister. It also sets up some key character moments, such as Jaime Lannister's heroic charge against Daenerys and the heart-wrenching moment when Tyrion watches his own people being slaughtered by his sister's army. Overall, the loot train attack is a standout scene in Game of Thrones that showcases the series' ability to deliver thrilling and impactful battle sequences, while also advancing the larger story and character arcs. Number 6. The 6th scene on the list is the Battle of Hardhome, which takes place in the 8th episode of Season 5. This battle scene is widely regarded as one of the most intense and thrilling in the entire series, and it's notable for its impressive visuals, emotional impact, and pivotal role in the larger story. The scene takes place at Hardhome, a remote outpost beyond the wall, where Jon Snow and a group of Night's Watch brothers are attempting to convince the wildlings to join them in the fight against the White Walkers. However, their mission is interrupted when a massive army of Whites and White Walkers descends upon the camp, leading to a desperate battle for survival. The battle itself is a stunning spectacle of practical and digital effects, with a mix of makeup, prosthetics, and CGI creating a terrifying and otherworldly army of undead. The fight scenes are intense and brutal, with characters we've grown to love over the course of the series facing off against impossible odds. However, the scene is also notable for its emotional impact, particularly in the final moments when Jon Snow faces off against the Night King himself. The tension is palpable as the two stare each other down, with the fate of the entire world hanging in the balance. Overall, the Battle of Hardhome is a standout scene that showcases the best of what Game of Thrones can do when it comes to action, drama, and visual storytelling. It's a pivotal moment in the larger story of the series, as it marks a turning point in the war against the White Walkers and sets up some key character moments, such as Jon Snow's growing realization of the true threat facing the Seven Kingdoms. Number 7.
Kneel before your king.
The seventh scene on the list is the Purple Wedding, which takes place in the second episode of Season 4, titled The Lion and the Rose. This scene is notable for its shocking and satisfying conclusion, as well as for the intricate plotting and character development that leads up to it. The scene centers around the wedding of King Joffrey Baratheon and Margaery Tyrell, which is meant to be a joyous occasion for the ruling families of the Seven Kingdoms. However, tensions are high between the various factions, and it quickly becomes clear that something is amiss. As the wedding feast progresses, Joffrey becomes increasingly cruel and sadistic, openly mocking his uncle Tyrion and humiliating his bride. Then, in a sudden and shocking turn of events, Joffrey begins to choke and gasp for air, eventually collapsing and dying in his mother's arms. The scene is notable for its intricate plotting and multiple layers of deception, as well as for the satisfying comeuppance that Joffrey receives after years of tormenting the other characters. It's also a key moment in the larger story of the series, as it sets up some significant power struggles and character arcs going forward. Overall, The Purple Wedding is a standout scene that showcases the series' ability to create shocking and satisfying moments of triumph and tragedy, while also advancing the larger story and thematic concerns of the series. Number 8.
Shame.
The eighth scene on the list is Cersei's Walk of Shame, which takes place in the final episode of Season 5, titled Mother's Mercy. This scene is notable for its emotional impact, as well as for the impressive performance by actress Lena Headey.
A sinner comes before you.
The scene takes place after Cersei is captured by the Sparrows, a religious cult that has taken control of King's Landing. She is forced to confess to a number of sins and transgressions, including incest with her brother Jaime, and is then sentenced to walk through the streets of the city naked as a form of public shaming. The walk itself is a harrowing and emotionally charged sequence, with Cersei being pelted with refuse and insults from the crowds lining the streets. Lena Headey's performance is especially impressive here, as she manages to convey both the physical and emotional pain of the experience, while also showcasing Cersei's inner strength and resilience. The scene is notable for its thematic resonance, as it highlights the ways in which women are often victimized and punished for the actions of men in positions of power. It's also a key moment in Cersei's character arc, as she is forced to confront the consequences of her actions and begins to plot her revenge against those who have wronged her. Overall, Cersei's Walk of Shame is a standout scene that showcases the series' ability to create emotionally impactful moments of triumph and tragedy, while also advancing the larger story and thematic concerns of the series. Number 9.
Hold the door!
The ninth scene on the list is the Hodder reveal, which takes place in the fifth episode of Season 6, titled The Door. This scene is notable for its emotional impact, as well as for the way it recontextualizes several key moments from the series' past. The scene centers around Bran Stark and his ability to walk into the minds of other beings, including his loyal companion Hodder. As Bran and his friends are being pursued by the Night King and his army of Whites, Bran walks into Hodder's mind in order to direct him to hold a door shut and prevent the Whites from getting through. However, as the scene unfolds, it becomes clear that there is a deeper connection between the present and the past, as Bran's wagging seems to affect Hodder's mind in a way that reverberates through time. In a heart-wrenching moment, we see a young Hodder in the past experiencing the same trauma and chanting the phrase "hold the door" over and over again, until it becomes slurred and distorted into Hodder. The scene is notable for its emotional resonance, as viewers come to realize that Hodder's entire life has been leading up to this moment, and that his selfless act of sacrifice is a testament to his loyalty and bravery. It's also a key moment in the larger story of the series, as it sets up some significant revelations about the nature of time and destiny. Overall, the Hodder reveal is a standout scene that showcases the series' ability to create emotional and thought-provoking moments that stick with viewers long after the credits roll. It's a pivotal moment in the larger story of the series, as it recontextualizes several key moments from the past and sets up some significant developments in the present. Number 10. The 10th scene on the list is the moment when the Night King destroys the wall with Viserion, which takes place in the final episode of Season 7, titled The Dragon and the Wolf. This scene is notable for its stunning visuals, as well as for the way it upends some of the fundamental assumptions of the series. The scene takes place at the wall, which has long been a symbol of safety and security for the people of Westeros. However, as Jon Snow and his companions are journeying back to the Seven Kingdoms, they are ambushed by the Night King and his army of Whites and White Walkers. In a stunning turn of events, the Night King uses his magic to reanimate Viserion, one of Daenerys' dragons who had been killed earlier in the season. He then uses the dragon to destroy a section of the wall, creating a hole through which his army can pass and enter the Seven Kingdoms. The scene is notable for its stunning visuals, which include some of the most impressive CGI effects in the entire series. The destruction of the wall is a breathtaking moment, as the massive structure crumbles and collapses in on itself, creating a sense of awe and wonder. It is also significant for the way it upends some of the fundamental assumptions of the series, particularly with regards to the power of the White Walkers and the potential consequences of their invasion. It sets up some significant developments for the final season, as the characters are forced to confront the reality of the White Walker threat and prepare for a final showdown. Overall, the destruction of the wall with Viserion is a standout scene that showcases the series' ability to create epic and visually stunning moments that have a lasting impact on viewers. It's a pivotal moment in the larger story of the series, as it sets up some key plot developments and raises the stakes for the final season. And there you have it. Thanks for watching.